Good afternoon, everybody. It is 4 o'clock on March 6th, 2025. We are meeting today with the elected officials compensation committee. My name is Will Van Vactor. I'm the county manager. With me, as far as county staff, we have Brianna Cupp, an executive assistant for the county. Megan McKee is our human resources director, and Christina Heron is here as well. She's our finance director. We have a relatively limited agenda, and the first thing on the agenda is for the committee itself, Ron and Bill, to appoint a chair. So at this point, I'm going to kick it over to you to have a discussion, make a nomination for a chair for this meeting, and then you can proceed with the agenda.
I would like to nominate Bill Anderson as chair.
Okay, I'll accept that.
Okay. Not quite sure. I guess maybe we need a quick motion. So maybe.
Make a motion.
Okay.
Well, we'll kind of dive in a second, won't it? But I'm in favor of that too, so
Okay.
we'll call for the question and I would say aye and
Aye.
Okay.
Any discussion?
yeah.
Yeah, I think they kind of covered it.
Okay.
I think they covered that.
We
Thank you,
covered
Brian.
it. Okay, well, thank you for that vote of confidence. It was more like a one step back. Okay, so thanks for the agenda, Will, the overview of the material presented, and thank you to the applicants and to work from county staff to get us a little bit more information there. I appreciated that, doing that. So you have comments about one or the how this information that's been presented and I guess the other material is not really material at this point. We did receive a bunch of information about the salary grades and all of that, but that isn't what this is.
That's not, yeah. Correct.
No,
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that is there any other material presented that we should be considering or?
No, I think this morning you were presented or provided some additional information from both of the applicants. And you should have the application forms themselves. So that is the material that staff has put together for you as the committee to review and then make a recommendation to the board on.
Okay. So we have the two applications here, and you have a idea of how you would like to go forward and end up with a decision?
are we gonna ask some questions or are we just gonna make our decision on the two resumes?
Are the applicants here?
One of the applicants is here.
Okay,
So
well, we've reviewed these and they're very thorough. And I guess what I have concerns about is I've had several phone calls from the citizens of Crook County and their concern of Monty Kurtz and the citizens that I've had phone calls from are very concerned about him applying for this. They feel like there's possibly a conflict of interest and they don't think that it's in the best interest of our county and the vision and the mission of going forward. So that's all I really have to say about that. They were very concerned that I would voice my concerns about that or voice their concerns about that today. So I feel like that was my responsibility to do so. I have not received any phone calls or messages in regards to Blaine Noland. Nor do I know that gentleman, but other than the resume.
we have is gonna be like erratic.
I think that it's important that we have a fair and an open process and that we have this here. I didn't receive any phone calls from the public, you know, about that one way or the other. And I guess while I appreciate what you're saying, I didn't know that that was part of the process, or, you know, did the general public get an opportunity to know or, you know, provide input? With that would be my question. If we're, you know, if we're, I'm not a politician, so I,
Neither am
you
I.
know, but it just seems like if we were going to have a process for public input or whatever, that we would make that clear. And so as far as I know, I don't know how people know to call you or to call me or with that. So is there a protocol or anything around this?
No, in terms of, the county has an appointment process for boards and committees, including this committee. In my experience, and this is mostly with the planning commission, there's an open period to apply. The applications are provided to the staff and then provided to the committee, in that case, the planning commission, to review. The committee is free to, at that point, kind of, again, in my experience, kind of dictate the process. So if you'd like to interview the candidate or the applicants, as the committee, you can elect to do so. Or you can base your decision off of the application materials.
Yeah, in a mundane hiring process, we would have a conversation with the applicant, you know, in that but again, this isn't private business either, and so we have these requirements for public things. So how would you like to proceed with that?
Well, I think that, you know, the applicants and are very thorough. I think they're thorough, and I'm personally ready to vote today.
Okay, well, given the two applications, we're asking typical citizens to put their name forward and volunteer to work on this, and then they gave us some information about that. And I think if I were looking at just these applications, they're very similar in terms of the quantity of background and experience, business owners, business experience. I would conclude that they have hired people, they've set wages, they've done that type of thing, and they're doing that. So for me, if all of these things are equal, then how do you determine, you know, which way? Initially, I had suggested maybe we just send both applicants to the commission, which would be shirking our duty, right? I guess, to do that, because I didn't feel like I had enough information to make a decision. And
Yeah, when we received those, I agree, and then then I
had a little bit
I
more
had more
time,
confidence, yeah.
yeah, to do that. So if and, you know, if we just took names off of that or whatever, then I would say that when I look at Mr. Kurtz's application, and information and background, that he has apparently more, interaction with the county, as well, in attending things, being aware of the budget process. And did I see that he actually was an elected official? Was it like a treasurer, county treasurer position, or?
I believe ran for the county treasurer.
Okay. So I know that he has an active interest in the county and is, frequently in attendance that way. I don't, know about, Mr. Nolan, what his, experience is or exposure to the county. Do you have any idea? Do you?
I don't have any personal knowledge.
So for me, just looking at the two, that was kind of the distinguishing factor, that would go that way. It would be nice if one person was blatantly incompetent or had no background at all. Both of these people are here. I don't know that it has to do with how long people have been in the county, but I think it, does. Yeah. I feel like from those perspectives that, Mr. Kurtz would have, the edge in that. And again, that's just that piece. You also have your piece, then in perspective, with that. Are we open to consider anything?
Well, I think, I'm just speaking, I think you guys can kind of decide exactly how you want to proceed, but one option would be, and this would mean another meeting, but we could reconvene and you guys could kind of more formally invite the applicants to come and we could have some questions for you to ask and to get to know them. Just hearing you chat here, it sounds like there may be a little bit of a different opinion. So, that can be carried forward as well to the board. So it's kind of up to you in terms of what you'd like to do to get some additional information. Small committee, only two of you. trying to put a recommendation together. So poses some challenges, but I would kind of leave it to you to decide.
And we have some time constraint here too, correct?
Yeah, a little bit. We're still ahead of schedule from where we were last year, but we are in the middle of our budget process right now, and the recommendations and ultimate adoption of the recommended compensation does play into our budget. So we'd like to get those answers on the budget side as soon as possible, but there's no, we have a couple weeks if we need to take some additional time.
Is there anything from HR perspective that you can solve this for us?
I personally would recommend you meeting with both of them and just having maybe a 30-minute discussion of what their passions are about Crook County, what are the things that are important to them, and how can they provide that for the county, and then reconvene. That would be my recommendation.
Yeah, I guess I was under the understanding that they were gonna be vetted, personally, and I had a bunch of questions I wanted to ask, so, I didn't realize that we were gonna have that opportunity, but I would recommend that also.
I'd be happy.
It's
to-
hard to vote on somebody that you haven't vetted completely,
Right, yeah,
Right.
yeah, even with this, so if we were to have that conversation again, to make this, as fair as possible, I guess, it's not one of my favorite words, but, would we maybe work with you a little bit to establish some questions that we could ask both candidates.
Absolutely, and I'd be happy to be in the room as well.
Okay, is it required that all of that, I'm just thinking of the candidates and the you know, the ability to speak freely, that kind of thing, it's an all, public meeting still?
Correct, yeah.
Okay. Yeah. How do you feel about that?
Yeah, I think that's the appropriate pathway, I feel, yeah.
Okay, so, yeah, so, then it sounds like, we agree that we should, you know, put together some questions and schedule a bit of an interview, of each of the candidates.
I can own that process. and work
Okay.
With you too.
Great, thank you. So we reviewed the applications, we have deliberated a bit, and yeah, so I guess we would adjourn this meeting to the,
I think before maybe you adjourn, I'd like to just have a quick conversation about scheduling that next meeting, just to see what your calendars are like over the next couple of weeks, so we can try and find a time that affords time to get ready, but also keeps things moving.
Yeah,
I think, I'm leaving tomorrow, I'll be back Tuesday afternoon, and then for the rest of March, except when I'm not. Oh, yeah.
You'll be back later in the week next week.
Yeah, the last half of next week,
Okay.
would be fine,
I am not available Wednesday.
so it'd
Of
be
next
like
week.
Thursday or Friday of next week.
Mhm.
Teams of 14.
Megan, do you feel like a week would be enough time for you to prepare some questions? So maybe the same time, same place next Thursday?
Sometime same place.
Next Thursday, yeah, no, sure.
Is that the 20th?
It will be
the
13th.
No, the 13th, yeah, sorry, the one is a week. Yes, that works for me, does that work for you?
Mhm.
Hopefully it works for the applicants.
Yeah, there's, right.
So, and, you know, if it looks like we need to reschedule it, we'll confirm availability, and if we need to, that date will be conveyed in the notice when it goes out, but we'll keep you informed as we get that scheduled, but that gives us something to work with.
Tentatively April 13th at 4
March.
March. I am trying to throw time away here.
You just have tried to move it along faster than it already is going.
Don't need that.
No.
Okay, any other business that we need to? do? Okay, then let's adjourn.
Thank you for that suggestion. That saves everybody a lot of work in scheduling, right? You're very.
Thank you guys
Thanks
for
for
coming in.
Okay.
Part of it.
Okay.
We just. Oh, man. It's just, yeah. I'm sorry, I was so.
Yes, it is.